Hey guys, time to review one of the best games of 2024, Balatro. Imagine you are standing at the central command console of your brain, stretching your fingers in a painful rictus, trying to activate as many of your pleasure centers as you can at the same time. This is essentially what Balatro is attempting, and what's amazing is that it manages to do a really good job of it. Many games struggle to effectively compete in a single gaming space, but Balatro fuses genres with seemingly effortless facility, often evoking pleasantly surprised oohs, like seeing a chef combine two foods or flavors you've never thought to combine before. If you can think of a type of card, it is probably in Balatro in some form or fashion, and you will want to see them all. Balatro is a roguelite whose core gameplay loop is predicated on creating traditional poker hands, pairs, full houses, flushes, etc. You start each run on the first ante, each of which comprises 3 blinds, i.e. rounds, the small blind, the big blind, and the boss blind, the last of which adds either a significant handicap you must play around, like not being able to play your most played hand type, or a hurdle you must overcome, like having to win in a single hand. In each blind, you must create poker hands to earn the minimum chip stack for that blind. Each hand has a base number of chips and a base multiplier that you get for making it, and each card that scores as a result of playing that hand adds a number of chips equal to its rank, e.g., a 9 awards 9 chips, to the hand's base chip count to determine your score. When you clear the minimum, you win the blind. A game can theoretically go up to a couple dozen antes, give or take, but a run is considered one if you beat the 8th ante. The minimum chip counts scale up as you get deeper into a run, and it won't be long before even the best hands can't make those minimums on their own. That's where the jokers come in. There are lots of ways to improve the chip and multiplier outputs of both individual cards and your full deck, but jokers are the most prominent and the flashiest. Under normal circumstances, you can have up to 5 in play at a time. These sit passively at the top of your HUD and confer benefits by their presence, much like, say, enchantments in Magic the Gathering or stadium cards in the Pokemon TCG. The array of effects jokers can have is staggering, but one of the many things that makes Balatro truly great is the thrill of their synergy. A strong joker lineup tickles that part of the caveman brain that salivates at the concept of number go up, and can enable hands that produce hundreds of thousands, millions, and even hundreds of millions of chips all by themselves. You can even get so many chips that the game has to render the number in exponents, an outcome known and typically referred to in hushed, reverent tones as E. You don't have to rely just on jokers, however. Another beautiful aspect of Balatro is the variety of tools you can employ to enhance your deck and the cards in it. After each successful blind, you get to take the money you've accrued and visit the shop, which will of course sell you a joker or two, but you also have several other options. You can crack booster packs, another glorious dopamine hit the game gets exactly right for tarot cards, which most often buff individual cards, though they can pump up your wallet too. Planet cards, which level up specific hands, increasing their base, chip counts, and multipliers. Even regular playing cards, often with score and money boosting seals and textures. And occasionally spectral cards, which tend to come with both higher risks and higher rewards. The shop also sells vouchers, the effects of which usually last the duration of the current run. The aggregate effect of all these boosts is intoxicating and only becomes more so the more you pile atop each other, like a chip stack in a WSOP final. The right combinations of jokers, vouchers, tarot enhancements, and hand level ups can make practically any hand or play style viable. Think you can win without using face cards? Seems like it might be tough, but there are in fact countless ways to do so. Curious how far a fat wallet will get you? As in real life, it does provide significant comfort. Want to win a run entirely on high cards? You absolutely can. The extra wonderful part is that you can't plan any of it beforehand. You never know before you fire up a run if you're going to be doubling down on 3 of a kinds, making copies of your jokers for fun and profit, or testing the ceiling on a joker that's never been viable for your playstyle until this run. Every day, every seed, every run brings something new to the table. With all this variety on display, it should come as no surprise that Balatro is also extremely colorful. The jokers span the entire spectrum of the rainbow, and their foil, holographic, polychrome, and negative editions add even more glitz. Thick swirls of miasma churn behind every played hand and every shop visit. The screen bows out at the borders like an old CRT and does a stylized version of the scan lines of same. It's a warm blanket you never want to take off. No matter how vivid one makes the palettes, however, spades and clubs still look a lot alike, which is why it's nice that there's a high contrast options that recast clubs in a potent electric blue and diamonds in a more bronzed gradient version of their standard orange. All of this is backed by just one song with a few variations, which could have been a special kind of hell if it had been an annoying one, but luckily that single song evokes exactly the kind of atmosphere you want from a game like this. Composed by Luis Clemente, there's something seedy about it, as there so often is about card games, but it also captures how alluring our base natures find those sordid games and dive. It also contains strong psychedelic elements, recalling the otherworldliness of the tarot and planet cards, which is especially apropos given that those notes come through most strongly in the motifs that play when you're picking out one of those cards from a booster pack. If you're going to be playing a game for hours on end, swearing to yourself that this is absolutely the last run you're playing because you have other things to do today, you couldn't ask for a better backing track than Balatro's, drawing you in with silky, seductive tendrils of musical smoke. Often when my wife asks me what I'm thinking, it's usually just a tumbleweed blowing across a star field while this song plays on repeat. I haven't been as addicted to a video game as I have to Balatro in a long time. I'm not one to sink hundreds or even dozens of hours into any game, but my total playtime is well on its way to triple digits. Whatever your number is, Balatro has it. It can press any or even all of your buttons without breaking a sweat. You don't even have to get it. Just make poker hands and put together some jokers that seem like they might pair even halfway decently, and before you fully comprehend what's happening, the game will be massaging your brain like Bugs Bunny and the Rabbit of Seville. And if I can't get a real person's magic fingers to tingle my troubles away, then in the meantime, this virtual set will do just fine. That's all, folks. Subscribe for next episode. Thank you.